cited this. Mr. Taylor's report should have been based on fact and not hearsay. You know, I oversee contracts for the state, for the federal government. I have never seen anybody come in and do this type of report. Facts is what a report should be based on, not hearsay. Unethical employees will say anything to make someone else look bad and make them look good. Mr. Taylor's report was all hearsay and no actual facts and no truth to this report. The City Council needs to make the right, ethical choice and allow the Chief Herrera to continue to improve, to move the Floresville Police Department forward. The Floresville Department has shown great improvements in the past 6 years under his leadership. There's new equipment, there's tasers, cars, better services for his police officers. And if everybody out there, has any one of you gone to research and look at the report that Mr. Taylor wrote? Did anybody go and look at those personnel files that he talks so highly bad about? No. Did anybody go out there and verify how many times he tried to talk to the chief of police? Twice. Once with the whole group. The second time was 5 minutes or less call. Never again. You can verify that information. He stood here and said, I could not reach him. He would not talk to me several times. That is the biggest lie. You have verification. Go look at those records. So I know the council here has a right to be ethical and do the correct thing.
I'm here again. My name is Rick Compton. I'll try to get through this without being more disturbed. Y'all decided to hire this buffoon from Oregon that supposedly nobody knows him, but he had all these credentials he kept bragging about. He had the doctors, he had this, he had that. He just made it look like he was just this very knowledgeable individual. Well, I can tell you that I've studied a lot of books, done a lot of video games, done a lot of test deals on how to fly a jet. I've sat in a jet. I know all about the instruments and how to fly it, but I've never flown one. This man had never, ever been a chief of police anywhere. And for him to come to our city and say that our chief doesn't know how to run this police department, that's ridiculous. Because he just came in here, he doesn't know how to, he never been. The highest rank he ever got was sergeant. He talked about that he helped on the John Bonet case. Is that case solved? Hell no. Councilman Cantu tried to nail him down on how many hours he actually spent talking to people. He couldn't say. He said, I was here 8 days. I had to fly in here 6 times. Why in the hell did you have to fly 6 times back? Just come here, stay here, take care of business. But you didn't know how many hours you actually spent? And you paid him $37,000? Damn, I hope you paid me $37,000 to tell you how to fly a jet. Oh, but he's pro-police. He's pro-police all the way. Never once did he say, okay, this is how you fix this problem with the paperwork. He said it's all terrible, but never said, I can fix it. If he's so smart, he could have said, look, I can show you how to fix this. Never said that, not one time. If our police department was so bad, hell, the crime would be up 100%. Because the way he talks about it, all he does is demonize the chief and the police department. Need my glasses. The Oregon man was hired with one purpose: to fire the chief, recommend. That's all he was hired for. And you called him, Mayor, because you said you called him.
Yes, I did.
Shame on any of this council that decides to vote to fire the chief. Shame on you.
Hello, Madam Mayor and Council. Yes, my name is Christina Ortiz. I'm so sorry, I'm pretty loud. I'm here to represent the Floresville Police Department. I'm just a supporting. I wish we can become unified. It's disheartening that y'all are not being unified. I did get to meet the consultant, and it was really disheartening. And I do speak plainly, and I don't have a speech or anything on paper because I'm just not that type of person. I did ask him a question, and I asked, so are you a licensed officer? His question to me was no. To me, I found that disturbing. How would you spend $37,000 plus monies? And I direct that to a financial person because I'm a financial person. How would you cut a check for $37,000 plus monies? Plus, you're going to spend $51,000 on this guy right here, your legal person. Plus, you're going to probably go into litigation. So, do you know that's going to cost your citizens monies? So, I'm really disheartened. By come November, you're going to leave your city with probably, what's this estimate? Maybe $1,000, maybe over, $1 million in debt in your reserve fund that you so-called you have. I don't think you got that money, Madam Mayor. I think you're making poor decisions. Whoever is backing you up, I don't know where your decisions are coming from. He's unlicensed. You should have called T-Code for free. Think about that. When y'all go back an executive decision, wow, for free? Who does not want something for free? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
My name is Melissa Sendejo, and I'm a lifelong resident here of Floresville. And I'm not saying anything different than a lot of these people back here, already have said. Except that I wrote a few things that I felt like needed to be spoken from me, from how I feel. This is directed to those sitting on this council that have considered and acted on termination of our chief, our assistant chief, and our lieutenant. Surely each of you has had enough knowledge and experience in today's workplace to know that the way y'all are going about this is wrong. First bad decision you made was to hire that consultant, which, by the way, as a taxpayer, I didn't appreciate you doing that. You're throwing away our hard-earned money. And I think that everyone feels the same way. I can think of 37,000 ways you could have spent that money more responsibly on our city. So you bring in the consultant, and by the way, the definition for consult is to seek advice. What we heard at that meeting from your consultant was not advice. It was a fabrication of the truth. Instead of the council members taking the opportunity to advise and give proper recommendation, we find ourselves here at a meeting to discuss termination of our dedicated officers. Y'all really jumped a few steps. The right thing to do is to sit down, look into the truth, and make a plan of correction as a team if necessary. You must ask yourselves, have I given these officers with over 75 years combined the respect and opportunity that they deserve after they have protected you and the community? What would your answer be? I'm waiting. So I ask you to join us, the people of Floresville, and support the police department and all our officers the way they so rightly deserve.
Mr. Hug, Mr. Fick, and Mrs. Turner. I'm sorry, go ahead.
My name's Albert Sines, and I just want to talk about the irony that is the Professional Development Institute. Because there was nobody that he came in and offered development for. The word development is to make something better. There wasn't a lot of that. It was to, just scrap the top. Let's start over. You're kind of screwed at this point. Let's just take out all the leadership, and hopefully it'll become better. Hire somebody from the outside. You're supposed to develop. That's what he's here for the Professional Development Institute. To develop those that we already have here that have served for so long. Let's make them better. Let's give them the resources that they need to become better. He made all these points. Oh, there was a crack in the window at the police department. Well, there's potholes all around town, but nobody's trying to impeach y'all. These are the things. We try to make people better. So when do we lose those values to actually develop the people that are already in place? Let's focus our efforts on those who have served. Let's make them better rather than just trying to start over and hope that it works. No, let's put in a system in place that will make us better. That's all I have to say.
I was going to ask Mr. Hug or Mr. Zeke or Ms. Turner that in the last meeting that we had with the consultant, I asked him when was he first contacted. He couldn't answer that question. Did he call or give you all an answer? Because he said he was going to return my answer.
No, ma'am, he didn't call me.
Okay, and I also asked him how many hours he had spent here on the grounds. He couldn't answer that question, but he said he would contact us and give me the answer. He has not done that. Has he done it with you? Okay. And I also asked him how many hours total did he spend on this case investigating the police department, and he couldn't give me an answer, but he said he would get back to me. Okay, that's all I have. In my opinion, this is my opinion, he was just a hit and run.
Any other citizens' comments? All right, we're going on into item number 1A, executive session pursuant to Texas Code, Government Code Section 551.
I've got, before we go on, do you think we can move item 1A behind 1B?
One view, one view.
I would recommend that you get legal advice from me before you have that discussion. You'll be in a better position to
Our
have
mayor's
that
the one that, we do this all the time, sir.
discussion. No, I understand that. I'm telling you, you're free to do it. It doesn't matter to me. But what I'm saying is that you'll be in a better position to have that discussion after you hear from me.
Right, so
That's-
I will
that's
move item D.
You'll be more informed.
Right, I will move, excuse me, Council, I will move item D to item B. So you're going into executive session first, and then we'll come out and address item D.
Well, the reason I want to move item D to item A, Mayor, is because I would like to hear what the police department had to say in their part, since they weren't able to do it at last council meeting. We cut the meeting right at the end.
Recommendation by our legal team, legal representative Charlie Zek, is to go into executive session, and that's what I propose to the council.
Mayor,
I
you're
propose to
the
the
one in
council.
charge, Mayor, not this man.
Yes,
You make
yeah,
the decision.
I just did.
So in other words, you're saying that it's better for him to listen to him before our police department?
Yes. Yes.
We're not gonna make a decision till,
No, I understand that, but I think it would be better based for us as council people to hear what the police department has to say versus what we heard the consultant. No one ever interrupted him, not one time. He bashed the police department as bad as he wanted to, and they were not able to say what they needed to say. Because I took it upon myself to call the sheriff and ask him, how do you get along with our chief of police? I asked him, is it true that you don't know him? All those things a lot of those things that he said, I will say, he lied. He is a liar. I will say. Because I'm a judge, to see see if we had all the reports, certifications and stuff for the police department. Yes, they do have them all. When he said that he couldn't find one at all, 0. But he contradicted himself, pulled out 5 people, which are the police officers they're talking about. He pulled out those 5, but he didn't pull out everybody else's. So in other words, why is he just pulling out those 5 if he's coming to check out all the whole police department? So I would like to do that before.
I agree with Mr. Jimenez. I think we should.
How did the other council feel?
Well, it's not an action item, so you can't take a vote on it. It's up to you as presiding officer.
As presiding officer, we go into executive session first, and then we'll come back and address item
We need a motion.
I have a motion on the floor to go into executive session. Do I have a second?
I'm not saying.
I have a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed. Going into executive session at 7:16 p.m.